Hello, hello, beautiful people. Welcome and welcome back to Having It Made with Alexandria Jade. I am your host, Alexandria Jade. I am so excited about today's episode. I'm always excited. But this one, we have LA in the house. I have my dear friend. This young lady has worked with Audio Mac, Universal Music Group, Motown, and so many more. Literally the GOAT herself, Miss Maya Abrams.
Hey, thank you for the intro. That's so nice of you.
Absolutely.
Make you sound cool and shit.
We got LA. You said it last time. This is part 2, by the way. You guys check out part 1. It's fire. Yeah. We in here.
Yeah.
LA in the house.
I mean, yes, but like Texas is really in the house.
Texas high.
Yeah.
Dallas with it.
That's it. That's
we
her.
love the braids.
That's she. That's me.
Maya, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be back, and it's visual now, which is so cool because last time we did this, it was audio, and it just shows the growth and the production value.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy to be here.
We're getting there one day at a time. So tell me about just what's going on. Because you're currently at Geffen, correct?
I am.
Geffen Records.
Yeah,
I'm scared of you.
I am officially a Geffen girly. Shout out Geffen. We love it. But basically, Geffen Records, for those that don't know, is in the Interscope Records family. The official name of Interscope is actually IGA, which stands for Interscope Geffen A&M Records. Mm-hmm. So we are like the sister label to Interscope, which is amazing because like the legacy of Interscope is so big. Exactly. The legacy of Geffen is also very big. So we're just really, me and like the wonderful team I work on are just trying to bring everything back and represent some dope artists and just some people out and about and known. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned before you knew that you wanted to get into like music marketing, music business when you were younger.
Yeah.
You wanted to be around just a whole bunch of stars.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, it really started like when I was really young. Like for backstory, like I was an athlete my whole life. I basically performed my whole life, and like between like dancing and acting and singing. Oh yeah, go Canes. We can talk about that later. I just knew that like I was obsessed with entertainment. I loved award shows. I loved music. I grew up in like with like parents that were like the Motown age, so that was all that we played.
Exactly.
And I just knew like from very early on that these were my people. This is what I wanted to be around 24/7. The digital marketing side kind of showed up a little bit later in life. I was an internet baby, like not a baby, but like as a teenager, I was like stuck at home because I had a head injury. So I was just like one of those like fangirls on Twitter and Vine and making like edits of like my favorite artists and posting them, and they did really well. And I think that's just like when my love for digital started. But yeah, kind of just knew like this was what I was like on the earth to do a little bit.
What kind of stuff played in your household growing up?
Every Saturday I woke up, it was like one of like 3 artists. It was either like Stevie Wonder, Jackson 5, Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle. My mom loves Patti. Mariah Carey. The first album I ever listened to. I talked about this in the first one too. First album I ever learned like word for word, bar for bar was Mariah Carey's Merry Christmas album. Because my grandmother would show it to me when I was little. Those were the main people I heard, like when it was like time to clean and stuff. Those were my main people.
The time to clean.
That's how I knew. I was like, damn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me about the overall experience, because you have some credits with Audio Mac, RCA as well.
Not RCA.
Okay.
Audio Mac, Motown, Universal Music Group Central, Geffen. I was at Disney.
You were at Disney.
Yeah. It's been a few people. Code Music Group, which is like an independent label based in New York now. It's been a few.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, every experience is very different. Every company is a very different vibe. What I did at everyone was very different. Like one, like Audio Mac, obviously streaming service. I did like streaming marketing, which is so different than like the label side. But it was really cool to be with them. They're a dope team. At Code, we were like a really small team. So it was like I was doing digital, and I was also doing brand partnerships, and I was also doing operations, which is like one is like focus on sponsorships. One is like doing the social stuff. One is like making sure the artist was like on top of his stuff, which he always was. And then Motown, same thing. Like I had the honor of like being on the marketing team, but I also got to delve in with like A&R a little bit with the A&R team when they needed help. Like I helped like do press runs for the Grammy nominations for publicity, which was dope.
Right.
So everything is just, it's just kind of like where you are, like what you're doing, but it definitely gave me a well-rounded introduction to the industry. So like when it's time to hop around.
What do you feel like you've taken from each experience this far?
Be open to ambiguity and be open to change and like be okay with asking questions. Like the reasons I got to do different things was because I was curious about them, and eventually like people saw my curiosity and were able to give me an opportunity from that. Also that like what you think you're doing when you start is probably not what you're gonna be doing on. Like I started wanting to be an A&R like die hard, and then now I work in digital and I love it. So it's definitely those two things I think bring the most longevity.
So tell me about this audio arts degree, because you were in Syracuse. What do you feel like you've known just in general?
In general, I think I learned a lot about the actual like art of making music and making sound. I had the honor of being with a lot of guys that were audio engineers and producers and geniuses in their own right. So like getting to like learn the board, learn like how like DAWs, which they're called digital audio workspaces, that's like how you like Pro Tools and shit. Like getting to learn how to use that. Learning how to record in general, and learning that I had a love for recording myself, whether it's like a podcast or maybe like a vocal, because obviously I'm on the business side, but realizing that like this is cool to do on my own was really great. I got to learn from like some of the dopest people, like our program director, his name is Bill Wordy. He like ran Billboard for a few years, and he's like the GOAT. So just got to be around a bunch of dope people.
So so you moved to New York. Then you moved to LA. And you could say like it's been a ride, like even the music industry in itself.
She's a fun girl.
She's a
roller coaster.
She's like
up and down, sideways, around and the way, upside down.
Not upside down.
It's always something. But it's cool.
But you're enjoying like the entertainment side. Like you enjoy being around the scene, behind the scenes.
I always joke like whenever I'm like out on like set at a shoot or like at a show for something related to work or at Coachella or something, like everyone's like, oh my God, like where are you? Like it's so cool. And I always joke and be like, my work life is so much more interesting than my personal life. Which is like fine. I love my job, so I'm very okay with it.
Do you ever feel like you have time to just be social and do things for Maya?
Yes, I definitely am a bit of a workaholic, so it's more of like me reminding myself that I deserve to give myself time and like amplify myself as a brand, which is kind of why like things like this are really cool to me. But also I thankfully work in like my biggest passion, which is music. So like going to a show for work will never be like a pain to me.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
So technically you wouldn't be able to say that you don't work when you're social, like you're at a social gathering.
It's kind of a mix at a lot of times. For example, like we have an artist named Highway who's amazing. He's from Seattle. And we had like, he did a live show at the Soho House in LA, and like all of us went from the office to go, and it was obviously social and fun, but like it was related to a work artist. So it's kind of like when those two are melting together. But I do try to like go on trips and like see my friends, because all my friends are based on the East Coast for the most part. I have like cool friends in LA, but like my closest friends are out here, so I try to like see them and go to shows together with them and do stuff like that.
On average, how many concerts would you say you go to a week?
Like, I'm not going to a show a week. I mean, maybe I do probably go to a show a month. Like, I think this month it's at, it's already at like 3 or 4. There's 3
this
on top
month?
of my head. Yeah. It's been 3 so far.
Are you excited?
4 actually, I lied. Yeah. It's cool. I mean, it's like I'm feeding my own addiction. It's great.
Not feeding my own addiction.
I am. I'm a concert addict. I have been.
Absolutely.
Like, if my mom sees it, she's gonna be like, yeah, she's been this ill since she was like 8.
Do you have a record player now?
Oh, not now. It's because I gave mine away to my cousin, but I like have a dream record player.
What's your dream record player?
It's like the mid-level like Audio Technica.
Ooh.
This girl's about $300.
What?
So,
Is the needle like that?
Yeah, the needle's like that. It also does like the Bluetooth playing. You can play from your laptop, and I want to get like a whole speaker setup. I have 75 albums, so like they have to be treated ultimately. You know?
Maya, what are your top 3 albums of all time?
I hate this question. I
use the vinyls as inspiration. That's including rollout too, but top
Rollout?
3.
Oh, we can get into that.
Okay, let's get into it.
Can I do top 3 rollouts? Because that's probably easier for me.
Let's do top 3 rollouts.
Shit. I think at the top of my mountain is Beyonce's self-titled rollout. Fun fact, I did a 30-page thesis on this in college.
Ooh.
It was in a group, but like, yeah, I spent like a whole like semester of my life thinking about this and like learning about it. But most people don't realize when she did the surprise drop on Fridays, like, the reason why artists release songs now on Fridays, because like the timing just worked. Everything was like, no one knew about it. They kept everything so well under the radar, and then like Times Square just like blacked out and everyone just started seeing it everywhere, and then that inspired everyone to kind of go to the schedule of like Friday being the post day. We're leaning away from that a little bit more. Like I see more artists posting throughout the week again, but like for the last almost decade it was because of her, which is like fucking insane. Can I curse? I'm so sorry. Okay, cool. Second, I love a good like visual with an album that's like a long form visual, so I'm gonna say like Purple Rain, even though I was not there for it. Ding. I just know like the fact that Prince went out of his way to fund a film, like to narrate his own album in Minneapolis where he's from, like, and it's almost like a borderline biography. It's like, that's just hard to beat. Like, not only did you come up with like one of the best albums of all time, you came up with one of the best music films of all time, and he got an Oscar nom for it. I also just love Prince. I'm very impartial. Well, I'm the opposite. I'm opinionated. Anyway, third. Fuck, that's hard. I'm trying to do someone a bit more recent. Who's a rollout that I've noticed that I really like? Not to plug my own label, but Olivia Rodrigo Sour. I loved the cohesiveness of it. My boss Kirsten, she like did that, and just the way that they just made her brand identity so like impactful from the jump, because that was her debut with the purple and the candy and the stickers. It was just like every piece of it. Like, go back and look at all of her videos, go back and look at her interviews. Like, they just set the bar so high for her. Right. Yeah. Shout out Kirsten, love you. Anyway. But yeah, those are 3 that I really like.
Okay, with that being said,
sorry, that was long.
I want us to play a little game.
Okay.
It's gonna be called Alexandria's Jukebox. And so, Maya, I have some records.
Okay.
And I would like for you to tell me where you were.
Yeah.
The first time you heard it.
Okay.
How does it make you feel?
Okay.
And your top 3 songs off of the album.
Sheesh. I'm excited. Okay.
Are you excited? I'm excited.
I'm excited because I can see them. Okay. Ooh.
Mariah Carey's Butterfly.
Okay.
Mariah Carey's Butterfly, everyone.
Okay, so first time I heard it, right?
Yes.
First time I heard Butterfly, me and Butterfly are kind of in a new relationship. I'm really an Emotions and Daydream girl. So this has been recent. I think the first time I really sat and listened to Butterfly, I was like, ironically, like packing up my apartment in Miami. For backstory, I went to University of Miami for my undergrad. So like, it was like end of this chapter of my life. I was like packing up my entire life to move across the country again. And I think it was The Roof that came on a shuffle. And I was like, I love The Roof too. But yeah. So I think like ending a chapter of my life was like the first time I heard this album. Top 3 songs, The Roof is one of them. Honey. Mine
is Breakdown.
Breakdown's great.
And I've been playing Baby Doll a whole lot. I cannot get enough of Baby Doll.
I would say The Roof, Honey, and I love 4th of July.
I like 4th of July too.
Yeah, those are my 3. Okay, I can
how does the overall album like make you feel?
I feel like she's just like, because those that know Mariah, like this was such a pivotal album because this was her first album when she was like a free bird, like, you know, free of Tommy Mottola, free of just like the marriage. She was doing her thing. She was gonna be herself. You can just feel the energy of like liberation. Yeah, I think it's really sexy. Yes. I think it's just the ultimate like.
You said free of Tommy Mottola. Mottola was really holding her hostage. Like, for real.
We can talk about this later. But yeah, just it was just an album where you could just really feel herself like in her full liberated energy.
Right.
It's her Hot Girl Summer album. She really did a lot with the Bad Boy producers, which I love. I mean, she did a rap feature during Daydream, but I feel like here she's like, oh, y'all mad? I'm gonna make you madder.
LOL.
Let's go.
And she looks so cute. She's giving visuals.
It was, yeah.
Okay.
It's just her Hot Girl Summer album. That's what I call it.
Love it. Before we knew. Okay, next album. Ooh. Okay.
Yee!
Shea Butter Baby.
We love her.
Where were you the first time you heard this album?
First time I heard, can I do the album as a collective? Because I really
Absolutely.
Okay, I was like, because I loved I Been, but I think when I really started listening to an album as a whole, I was driving to New York City from Syracuse. This was like a very pivotal album for me in grad school. I feel like because I had my own apartment. It was my first time in my own apartment. I was in that changing phases stage of my life. I'd finished school, but I was like, okay, what do I want to do? And I was starting to get my zhuzh, but I was still learning a lot. And I feel like this album is just it's just the beauty of imperfection. It's the beauty of growth. I feel like you can just hear her and her insecurities, but she almost makes them sexy in a way.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
And to hear her perform at the Roots picnic, BMO still hits.
Yeah.
Okay, top three.
Oh, I don't even know. Whipped Cream. Love it. Oh my God. Love it. Speak to Me. The vocals, just if you have somewhere that has really good audio around you or good acoustics, just play that. And just the tone of her voice is Jesus Christ. And I guess I've Been, because I've Been really put me onto the album. I always liked that song, I think, before I really listened to the whole body of work, and that's really what got me started with Ari.
Yeah, and she actually performed that one on the Color Show.
She did.
That's
one of the best Colors performances ever.
Literally.
I love it.
Okay, how does this album make you feel front to back overall?
Front to back, I feel like it makes me feel okay with figuring my shit out. I feel like I'm very much in my Shea Butter Baby era, of life now, where it's I'm starting to get it together. I'm starting to learn things about myself. I'm starting to understand what I'm doing in my career. I've been doing it for a second,
right?
But I'm still learning. I'm still very flawed. I'm still kind of all over the place some days. I'm still figuring out who I am as a young woman.
Exactly.
Figuring out what I like to wear, how I like to feel, who I like to date.
I love it.
So it's I feel like this is where I am right now. And yeah, it makes me feel very safe.
Okay, next album.
Sheesh, you're right.
Where were you the first time you heard this album? Top three, and how does it make you feel?
Me and this album have been together for a long time just because my mom is the biggest Prince fan in the world. Fun fact, they have the same birthday. Both of my parents have the same birthday as Prince. Yeah. So I would have to hear When Doves Cry when I was driving to cheer practice and stuff. So when I was a kid, I would just hear it in passing. I think full body of work. We went to see a Prince impersonator in Vegas, a year after he passed, and that was it for me. And then I started listening.
Prince impersonator.
He's good. He was amazing, but I listened to it front to back, on the way to high school, my senior year of high school. Okay. And by the time I pulled in, it was the end of Purple Rain, and I was in tears.
Right.
And I was I get it. I finally get it. And ever since, this is
We've
my
been
guy.
Stuck.
He's my biggest idol in the world, probably besides Beyonce, Victoria Monet. But anyway, yeah.
Top three.
I love Darling Nikki.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I love watching it more than listening to it, but even just hearing it, it's amazing.
Darling Nikki is that.
And it made so many people upset, and I love it. Let's Go Crazy, just because, that's one of the best intros to an album. Started hard, started fast.
Right.
Literally. Also, just, the musicianship of it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be lame. Purple Rain. Because... How can you not? It's
why not?
You just can't. It's one of the greatest songs of all time, let alone one of the greatest songs on the album.
I love it.
Yeah. I love Prince. Thank you for that.
Okay. I think you're ready for this last one.
I knew this was coming.
What do you mean you knew it was coming?
You were going to make me talk about him on camera. Okay. Go ahead. I'm Black Girl Blushing.
Gemini Rights, everybody. Steve D. Lacey.
I love it. It's concerning. Okay, I'm supposed to talk about the first time I heard it. First time I heard Gem Rights, or Gemini Rights, I just call it Gem Rights because that's what I do.
Yeah.
First time I heard it top to bottom, I think I was like at work because it came out during the summer. So I think I was like doing work in Motown and I was just like doing some stuff in the courtyard. And yeah, like I was a fan of Steve like beforehand, but I think like it came in waves. It'd be like, oh, like Hive Mind, and it kind of died. Then like, oh, Apollo 21, and it kind of died down. But this, it was like, I was just sitting, I looked up and I was like, wait a minute.
No, wait a
he up to
minute.
something with this. Yeah. But top three. Easy.
Three.
Last 3 songs of the track is a 10 album song. It's a 10 song album. No specific order. I'll just do the order. Amber, Sunshine, Give You the World. And Give You the World is first. I lied. But those are my top 3. Those are really easy. And I just feel like electric when I hear this album. Like I feel like just his creativity as a producer, his creativity, even as a singer, even though he says he's not, it's just, it aligns with my life right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like he makes me feel like the elevated version of myself. Like if I got to be like this like artsy, creative, intersectional person all the time, I would sound like Gemini Rights.
Well, personally, from having it made, we are gifting you Gemini Rights today.
No!
For those that don't know, Maya is our marketing coordinator for the pod. So I just wanted to say thank you from the entire collective.
I love you guys.
How many times have you seen Steve this year?
Oh God, I hope we're not posting any of this. I've seen him 4 times in the last year.
We love to see it.
If he ever sees this, I'm gonna die. Oh God, I love him.
Let's be sure to tag Steve Lacey below.
That's my choice, actually. It's not happening.
So Maya, for anybody that's wanting to get into marketing, digital marketing, what advice do you have for them?
Really, it depends because there's so many different like sides of marketing that I don't think people realize. I think like depending on if you want to do like visuals, like you want to do like one sheets, or you want to design like creative for marketing or socials or graphics, then like definitely kind of look at album covers or look at like posters of artists or look at music videos that you really like and you're like, I fuck with that, I fuck with that, I fuck with that. And try to see if you can like find the producer, find the creator, find the graphic designer. We're pretty normal individuals. You can probably find us more than you think. Second thing I would say is like, really, I found out I got into marketing because I started seeing things that I realized were rollouts now, but I didn't in the past. Like, for example, Ariana Sweetener, she's next to me.
She's next to you.
Just even seeing the way they started teasing the album, seeing the way, like, the order of the singles they were releasing, seeing, like, her visuals. That's what I started noticing. I'm like, I like the way she had her on the staircase. I like the way that this video looked. I like that they put it on this billboard. Kind of when you start thinking like that, then you're usually going to be a good marketing person because your eyes are in the right direction. You're seeing the attention behind things. Then third thing, just like mess around, like have fun. Like if you like video editing or you like making edits of people, like I used to, do it and post it and see how it does. If you like Discord, for my gamers and my internet kids, like go in an artist Discord, like maybe shoot them a message, go in and like produce some stuff. You never know who's in there like lurking around and you know, maybe could collaborate on something. Just play like, not to be a digital person, but like the internet has so much stuff on there that like you can just mess around with, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're messing with AI, whether you're on Discord. Just play around, and usually that's kind of what we do. Like we're just like I'm literally on my phone like messing around and creating things.
How many posts would you say that you post a day?
It really depends on how busy I am with like the main part of my job, but when things are down, probably like 5-6 times a day. When things are kind of busy, probably like 3 to 4 times a day. But yeah,
absolutely.
That's like the back burner of my job. My main thing is like just like ideating things. Like I also work on a fan engagement inside, which in fan engagement we find ways to develop fan bases while also, you know, bringing the best version of the artist to the fan. And I grew up a fan, so it's very important to me. So that's really the most fun part of my job, is developing things for people to do with their faves, which I cannot share anything yet, but you'll get to see soon.
Well, I probably know the answer to this, but who is your dream collaboration to work with?
Like
who would you like
marketing
to market?
Wise? Ooh. sometime in the world. You think you know what I'm going to say. I actually am a big fan and supporter of Victoria Monet, and I love her brand identity. I love her music. I just love herself as, like, her visuals. She's just the whole package, and her universe is very definitive. So I would love to be a part of that at some point. Yeah, I feel like she just has so much potential, and everybody already loves her, and she's just, like, you get it when you see her. Yeah. You get what she's trying to translate.
Y'all are, like, soul sisters at heart.
Hey, you know.
I'm hoping that works out for you. I know it's coming.
We'll see.
Without a doubt.
We'll see.
Well, Maya, do you have any last words for those that want to follow their dreams in the marketing world, digital marketing?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of already said it, but I think if anything, just like don't stop creating, whether you're a marketing person, whether you produce, whether you songwrite, whether you're an artist, or even if you're on the film side, like just keep doing what you're doing. You never know who's going to notice it. You never know where it's going to take you. Like if you told me like 8-9 years ago I'd be doing like what I was doing in my bedroom as a teenager now in an office at like one of the biggest labels in the world, I would not believe you. So you never know where your journey can go, and just keep making shit, keep posting shit, keep collaborating with your friends. My whole team is a team of my friends, and I feel so grateful for that. Allie's my friend, and now I'm on her show, so like just keep it going. And yeah, trying to think of anything else. Oh, and always be kind. That's like crazy to say, but like you don't understand how many people in entertainment are not the nicest, and literally just being a kind person and being open to others and like collaborative can just get you so much further. So always be kind to people.
We work across.
Yeah.
Work across. I mean, go up, but work across.
Always.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we did that on Impression. I got another Impression guest another Impression crew member on the show. Yeah. Maya was the music coordinator for the short film we shot. So that is incredible to just have you here. And the fact that we're getting there one day at a time.
We're getting there. We're in our shea butter baby era, and that's okay.
Right.
Yeah. Like, release your inner imperfections and just create and be vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with vulnerability.
Create.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the 8
and vulnerability.
Okay, beautiful people, that is all that we have for today. I'd like to thank my guest, the beautiful Miss Maya Abrams. We're having it made. I'm your host, Alexandria Jade. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you, Maya. You gotta get that from